In a world overflowing with noise where everyone scrambles to be heard, silence is the rarest and most powerful tool one can wield. Most people believe that speaking more equates to intelligence, confidence, and influence. They rush to fill every empty space with words, fearing that silence might make them seem weak or insignificant. But the truth is, the one who speaks the least holds the most power. Imagine a room full of people arguing, each voice rising above the other, desperate to assert dominance. And then there is one person who sits back, watching, listening, absorbing everything without saying a word. That person is in control. While others are distracted by their need to be heard, the silent observer gains knowledge. They pick up on emotions, insecurities, and unspoken truths. They see what others miss. The more you speak, the more predictable you become. People learn your thoughts, your weaknesses, and your desires. But the one who stays silent remains an enigma. Others are left guessing, wondering what they are thinking, what they know, and what they might do next. That uncertainty makes them powerful. The unknown creates fear, and fear commands respect. Silence also has a disarming effect. When faced with someone who does not respond immediately, who does not react impulsively, people grow uneasy. They start second-guessing themselves, filling in the gaps with their own assumptions. In negotiation, in conflict, in any battle of influence, this is an advantage that cannot be overstated. Those who stay silent force others to reveal themselves first. But silence is not just about withholding words, it is about control. It is about choosing when to speak and when to remain in the shadows. A well-placed pause, a moment of quiet after someone has spoken, can be more powerful than the most eloquent speech. It forces people to lean in, to wait, to anticipate. It shifts the dynamic, making them chase your words instead of the other way around. The world rewards those who understand the strength of silence. It is not weakness, it is not passivity. It is power in its purest form. Speak less, listen more, and you will find that influence, respect, and control naturally gravitate toward you. In any interaction, the one who speaks the least has the greatest advantage. Most people are eager to share their thoughts, to prove themselves, to dominate conversations with their opinions. But in their rush to be heard, they expose too much. What they think, what they want, what they fear. The one who stays silent, who listens rather than speaks, is the one who truly holds control. Consider a chess master who does not rush their moves. Instead, they study their opponent, observing every shift in expression, every hesitation, every misstep. They do not reveal their own strategy. They allow their opponent to act first, exposing weaknesses before making their move. This is how control through observation works. By staying silent, you give others the space to reveal themselves. They will tell you their ambitions, their frustrations, their insecurities, often without even realizing it. Every word they speak arms you with knowledge, while your silence keeps your own intentions hidden. Silence allows you to become a mirror, reflecting back what others say and feel. When you speak too much, you dictate the direction of a conversation, but when you say little, you force others to fill the void. They will talk more, trying to decode your silence, seeking your approval, or proving their worth, and in doing so, they give away far more than they intended. Great leaders, skilled negotiators, and those who command respect understand this instinctively. They do not waste their energy trying to convince others with words. They let others come to them. Their silence makes people anxious, uncertain, and desperate to know where they stand. And when they do finally speak, their words carry far more weight because they are rare, deliberate, and precise. The power of observation is not just about listening to words, but noticing everything: body language, tone, hesitation, confidence, and contradiction. A person's words may lie, but their actions, their pauses, and their unconscious movements always reveal the truth. To master control, resist the urge to fill every silence. Let others reveal themselves first. Watch, listen, and absorb. When you finally do speak, you will not be reacting, you will be commanding. Those who observe in silence shape the world, while those who speak too much are merely players in it. People are drawn to mystery. What is unknown fascinates, unsettles, and compels attention. In a world where everyone overshares, exposing their thoughts, emotions, and weaknesses at every turn, those who remain silent stand apart. They become intriguing, unpredictable, and most importantly, powerful. Think of the most commanding figures in history, in business, in any field of influence. They are rarely the loudest in the room. Instead, they move with an air of quiet confidence, revealing little yet commanding attention. Why? Because mystery creates influence. When people cannot easily read you, they are forced to wonder about you. Their curiosity works in your favor, making them invest time and energy in trying to figure you out. And the more they try, the more power you hold over them. When you speak too much, you give away your essence. People categorize you, label you, and believe they understand you. But when you withhold, when you allow silence to fill the gaps, they project their own interpretations onto you. Some will assume you are deep and wise. Others will think you are calculating and strategic. Either way, you control the narrative without saying a word. Mystery also makes people uneasy. The unknown is unsettling because it cannot be predicted or controlled. When you do not reveal your emotions or thoughts immediately, people are forced to second-guess themselves. This creates a psychological advantage. They will tread carefully around you, trying to gain your approval, trying to decipher your intentions, and in doing so, they hand over control. A mysterious presence also amplifies the impact of your words. If you speak constantly, your voice becomes background noise, easy to tune out. But if you remain reserved, choosing your words carefully and sparingly, people will hang on to every syllable. Your silence builds anticipation, making them crave your input. And when you finally do speak, your words will carry undeniable weight. To cultivate mystery, resist the temptation to explain yourself. Let people wonder. Do not rush to fill silences. Do not reveal all your thoughts and intentions. Instead, allow curiosity to work in your favor. Those who are easily understood are easily dismissed, but those who remain an enigma are impossible to ignore. When you master the art of mystery, you will find that influence does not need to be demanded. The desperate chase what they want. The powerful let it come to them. In every aspect of life, whether it be influence, success, or respect, those who wait with patience always surpass those who grasp frantically. There is an undeniable force in restraint, in resisting the urge to push, plead, or demand. Instead of forcing outcomes, the wise understand that the greatest rewards come naturally to those who position themselves correctly and wait. Consider a hunter in the wild. The inexperienced one crashes through the forest, chasing prey, making noise, alerting everything around them. Their desperation ensures failure, but the skilled hunter remains still, blending into the surroundings, observing patterns, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The prey comes to them. The same principle applies to power, success, and influence. Those who appear overly eager, who always push forward without pause, expose their need, and in doing so, weaken themselves. Patience is often mistaken for inaction, but it is the opposite. It is a calculated strategy. The one who waits understands timing, understands that everything unfolds in cycles, and that the right moment is more important than the immediate one. When you force things, when you rush, you invite resistance. People sense desperation, and desperation repels. It signals weakness, a lack of control. But when you hold back, when you let things develop on their own, they come to you with ease. This is true in conversations, in negotiations, in relationships. The one who speaks first, who insists, who pushes, often loses ground. But the one who remains calm, measured, and silent forces others to move toward them. Their patience creates an unspoken pressure. The world bends to those who do not chase it. Many fail because they cannot bear the discomfort of waiting. They want results now, validation now, success now. But those who achieve the greatest things understand that waiting is not passive. It is a test of discipline, of control. They place themselves in the right position and then let time work in their favor. To master this, resist the impulse to act out of fear or urgency. Let others reveal their impatience while you remain composed. When you stop chasing, when you stop forcing, you will see how naturally everything aligns in your favor. Power does not belong to those who grasp desperately, but to those who trust that what is meant for them will come. Words are like weapons. Used carelessly, they become dull and ineffective, but when chosen wisely, they cut with precision. Most people speak too much, throwing words around without thought, hoping that sheer volume will grant them influence. But true power lies in the ability to say less while meaning more. When your words are rare, deliberate, and well-placed, they command attention and leave an impact that cannot be ignored. Imagine two warriors. One swings wildly, exhausting themselves in a flurry of reckless strikes, while the other waits, measuring every movement, striking only when necessary. The first tires quickly, their attacks predictable and ineffective. The second remains patient, conserving energy, and when they finally move, they end the battle in a single blow. The same applies to speech. The one who talks endlessly may seem dominant, but their words lose value over time. People grow used to the sound of their voice, tuning them out like background noise, but the one who speaks sparingly forces others to listen when they finally choose to speak. Restraint in speech is a mark of intelligence and control. In conversations, the impatient rush to respond, eager to prove themselves, often revealing too much in the process. They expose their emotions, their thoughts, their weaknesses without realizing it. But the one who holds back, who listens more than they speak, gathers information while keeping their own position hidden. Their silence unsettles others, making every word they eventually say hold weight. A well-placed pause is more powerful than a long speech. Silence creates anticipation, forcing people to lean in, to wait, to analyze what little has been said. When used correctly, it can make your words feel more valuable, more authoritative. This is why the most influential leaders, negotiators, and strategists never waste words. They understand that speech is not about filling space, but about creating impact. To master this, resist the urge to explain yourself excessively. Say only what is necessary and let silence do the rest. Avoid speaking out of nervousness or insecurity. Instead, let others talk themselves into revealing what you need to know. And when the moment is right, deliver your words with precision. A few carefully chosen sentences will always carry more power than 1,000 thoughtless ones. Those who master their words master their world. There is a fine line between power and irrelevance, and it is drawn by the ability to know when to speak and when to remain silent. Most people err on one extreme or the other. Either they speak too much, revealing their every thought and weakness, or they remain too quiet, fading into the background, unnoticed and forgotten. True mastery lies in the balance, knowing when to hold back to gain the upper hand and when to speak to solidify control. Imagine a battlefield where two armies face each other. One rushes forward impulsively, eager to attack without strategy, while the other waits, observing, anticipating the right moment to strike. The impatient army falls into traps, exposes its weaknesses, and tires itself out. The patient army, however, chooses its moment carefully, delivering a decisive blow when the time is right. Conversations, negotiations, and even personal interactions work the same way. Speaking without thought is like charging blindly into battle, while silence, when used wisely, is like waiting in the shadows, ready to strike when the advantage is yours. The power of silence is in its ability to unnerve. When you withhold your words, people grow uneasy. They begin to second-guess themselves, filling in the gaps with their own anxieties and assumptions. This places you in control without ever needing to assert it directly. Yet silence alone is not enough. There will always come a moment when speaking becomes necessary, when the right words can shift the course of events in your favor. This is where balance comes in, knowing when to break the silence with a carefully chosen statement that alters the situation entirely. Some people fear silence, believing that if they do not speak, they will be forgotten. But those who understand timing know that silence, when broken at the perfect moment, ensures that their words are remembered. It is not about speaking less or more. It is about speaking with purpose. To master this, observe before you act. Do not waste words proving yourself, and do not let silence make you passive. Speak when the moment demands it, and your voice will command attention. Hold your tongue when it is not needed, and people will hang on to your every word when you finally choose to use it. Those who control the balance between speech and silence control everything.